Last week on Knights of the Rolled Table, Coach and Saeleas arrive in Emberbrook and meet up with Sarsa Demisalt and Jerik Dark Harbor at the Wayfinder's Tavern. A festival for the fallen hero Massimo is underway, inviting a visit from the Crystal Council and the Queen herself. But just as the festivities begin, a dark armored figure crashes the party.
So you hear this dark voice continue from where I left off.
They sent their heroes to take care of the threats when it's convenient for them. But when the heroes get too powerful, the council worries that they will be replaced by these heroes. They sent Massimo out on an adventure, but there was no way he could survive. But you see, I did. I am Massimo.
What?
It's me. It's Massimo.
Hey Massimo. Do you need work?
Not now, Coach.
From behind the buildings of where you guys see from the rooftops, you see this figure floating up.
Oh, dang.
Wow.
And he is what looks like kind of a knight, adorned in dark gray black armor. Glowing in the seams is this purple glowing energy, and there is a large cleaver kind of sword, and the helm is very thick, and these little purple glowing eyes are through the middle part and of where the eyes are. And
How big is this thing?
it's about Goliath size.
Okay, that's what I was going for. So.
Yeah.
Oh, Jerik, now that's a fight.
They thought I was getting too powerful, so the king had the council sent me to a fight. I didn't have a chance of winning.
And there's a couple of screams. Ah!
I fell to my death, but something brought me back. A powerful force. Now I am here for vengeance. I will not rest until the Crystal Council and the Queen are brought to justice. If anyone stands in our way, they will be dealt with. The Goliath have a saying. The soldier of vengeance is known as Kol Satori.
It's named Cole Satori?
That's my new name. You may call me that.
So not Massimo anymore?
Kol Satori.
How far away is
your
this
first
guy?
is that one word?
Strikes fear.
Cole first name and Satori?
I feel like if you have to explain it, it's not really that effective now, is it?
Would you like a drink?
Get
Because we got
them!
drink.
And you just hear this, get them. I need everyone to roll initiative.
How far?
Coach is looking around for some kind of
So
rock to throw
he's
at him.
flying in the air, by the way.
About how far away is he?
He's above one of the rooftops. I'd say he's around 60 feet from you guys. He's on the opposite end
I can
of the
get him.
square. Just to lay this out, we're in the town square. There's a couple of key figures that are on the platform. Cobbles immediately gets in front of Queen Mora. The human wizard woman, who was introduced to you as Kishara, kind of takes a stance, and you see her hand starts to glow. Nuzir Ram, the drow sorcerer, now you've kind of assumed he's a sorcerer, starts kind of clenching his fists and looking up at all of the twig blights that are around. The human mayor is kind of trying to grab the nearest person, trying to pull them up. You guys are all on the roof of Wayfinder's Tavern. Your tavern, you're about 20 feet away from the nearest twig blights. You are up on this thing, and you have a floating Goliath in a suit of armor that's floating above you on the opposite side. He's about 60 feet from you. And first up is Sarsa.
Okay, so you said we're about 20 feet away. Like, does that include going downstairs? Could I jump without hurting myself?
20 feet away from just like within visible distance. If you went downstairs, you would be going back. towards the stairs going down. It would take a turn to get down. If you jumped, you would get there.
I'm gonna try and jump down from the roof.
All right.
And rush as close as I can to as many blights as possible.
Okay. Give me a acrobatics check.
Acrobatics. It's a 15.
Okay, so you leap down and do a little bit of a tumble roll and manage to get back up. You might have, sprained an ankle a little bit, but you kind of fight through it because you are ready to get going. You've had a couple drinks in you, so you don't really notice.
She's kind of got like a drunk.
All right, so you
coat
get
of
to
arms.
a couple of twig blights that have grabbed some townsfolk. What would you like to do?
So she's going to get as close to all of them as she possibly can and kind of cackle maniacally and be like, all right, you beasties, let's do this. And then she's going to cast Spirit Guardians.
Oh, okay.
And
What do they look like?
It's going to be like a swarm of like flying, glowing white stingrays that are kind of like swimming through the air around her.
Okay, all right.
It's a 15-foot, and it's only people that like she can decide not to. So anybody that's like an innocent civilian is not going to be affected by these.
Okay.
They're going to have to make a dex save.
All right. That is a 16.
Okay. Dang it. So they save, but that means that they're taking half of the damage.
Okay.
So the damage is 3d8, so that's 21, so they're going to take 10 damage.
Okay. Anything else you'd like to do on your turn?
That's going to be it.
Okay. Next up, you see from the side of the platform this dwarf monk that you saw a little bit earlier, shaved head, kind of in loose robes. You see him kind of look up, and he looks up at Kol Satori and he points at him, and he moves his hands back in this kind of radial fashion, and his hands start to glow kind of this white hot bright light, and he shoots out his fist, and from his fist a beam of radiant energy shoots out towards Kol Satori.
I'm sorry, was that Nazir?
That was not Nuzir. This was a dwarf monk.
Oh,
You did not get his name.
The guy who they implied was one of the party, I think.
Got it.
Yes,
Sorry.
it was implied that he might have been friends to Massimo, and he yells out, "It's not you, Massimo!" and shoots out this white beam of radiant light, and it bounces off
Oink.
of Kol Satori's armor. That's his turn. There's a lot of emotion in his delivery, so you think that they might know each other, or at least he knew Massimo. Jerik, you're up.
I will. I'm gonna Eldritch Blast, 120-foot range, so I've got 2 blasts at 5th level, and I'll target 2 twig blights.
Twig blights, sure.
That, if there's 2 within range that are holding kids,
Okay.
I'll blast 2
You
different ones.
you see 2 kids that are being held by the foot.
Convenient.
Attack bonus is 8. So
Did we
that's
figure
gonna
out
be-
Eldritch Blast yet, or are we still working on it?
Definitely got Eldritch Blast. I've got one's a 17 and one's a 13.
Okay.
This is Zach. He knows what he's doing. He's
yeah,
not me.
It's all good. Both hit.
All right, so first one does 10 damage.
Okay.
Second one does 7 damage. Wow.
Nice.
All right. 2 of the twig blights get blasted back, and the kids that are being held by their ankles and wrists are just kind of shooken a little bit, but these twigs just go flying in the air like somebody took a blowgun and just like, and all these twigs just go.
You leaf blowered up.
A leaf blower, yeah. that's what I was trying to say. A leaf blower, and these sticks just went flying everywhere, and there's dust and debris, and they start running away. So yeah, you hit both of them.
So then I don't have nearly the confidence in my dexterity that Sarsa does, but if there's anything I can kind of grab onto to climb down. Oh
There
yeah,
is a
there's
rope
the
that
grappling.
Coach had.
Yeah, I'll grab onto Coach's rope and
All right, make an
climb her
athletics check.
down. It's a 14.
All right, you make it down with just a little bit of rope burn on your hands. Ow, ow, ow.
And if
All
there's
right.
any movement left, I'll just charge towards the nearest twig.
All right, sounds good. Kashara Fenro, who the human wizard that's on the platform, you see her kind of pushing back with an arcane energy, and a couple of the twig blights are kind of like and kind of vibrating, and I'm not quite sure what's going on, but they're sort of like held in place, not able to move. There are some other blights that come forward. These are a little bit sharper, and you can see little thorns and sharper twigs sticking out, and they fling their arms and fling a volley of thorns and needles at a couple of the townsfolk, and they are going to take down a couple of them, at least to the point where they are, hit pretty hard and they hit the ground. You don't know if they're dead or not, but they are hurt pretty bad because you hear this, so there's a couple of projectile-inducing blights. The sorcerer Nuzir, the drow, he is going to also do a thunder wave, and you see this wave of energy hit back, and there's a couple of blights, let's say... 4 of them are just blasted back into smithereens. All right, and then it's Cole Satori is up. He is going to look back at the tree line, and he is going to ignite his sword in this purple flame. Is anybody still on the roof?
Yeah, I am.
Okay, I need you two to make perception checks.
6.
It's fine. Everything's fine.
Together, it's 26.
8.
This. So
62.
you see him do this, and then you don't see it, but you hear kind of what seems like a lot of sounds getting louder and
That's
louder.
bad.
That's all you get with a 2 and a 6.
That's a bad
All right,
thing.
Coach, you're up.
Hey, Saeleas, make
Yeah.
a path over there. Fireball. Here we go.
I don't have fireball.
He's gonna jump. He doesn't know. He just saw what Sindel could do, and he assumes you can do all the same things. He's jumping down the rope.
You
It's like,
idiots.
fireball, go, okay, woo! He's gonna jump down, and he's gonna pull out his magical warhammer.
Okay.
And he's gonna move as far as he can inward, and then he's going to cast out of the warhammer thunderclap.
Whoa, nice.
The first time I've gotten a chance to use it. It's a DC 17.
Okay.
Apparently.
Are you aiming at twig blights?
I'm aiming at the group and whatever group is directly in front of me.
Okay. Yeah, I'll say if you make your way down, there's still a couple of twig blights, like 4 of them, that are not the ones that Sarsa obliterated, but there's still a couple, and there's a couple of townsfolk that they're holding as well.
They're in trouble.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to break a path into where the central courtyard, or wherever the queen is.
Yeah, you can definitely do that.
I've seen this before. I'm so sick of people getting kidnapped. I'm over it. So he's running down. He's going to cast it. So they're going to make a Constitution saving throw.
12.
12. Nope, not good enough.
Nope.
So they're all going to take
Oh dear.
2d6. That's a cantrip.
Okay.
8 damage though. They all take 8 damage.
With that, a couple of the twig blights go down. They crumple down to the ground. A couple of them, are blasted back. A few townsfolk are blasted on their backs as well, but they kind of scramble and get up. Some of them are grabbed again by other twig blights. Some of them manage to get away into the alleys. So you definitely carved about 15 feet of clear space in front, and there's other blights that are coming in.
Yeah, so I dealt damage. So I'll go ahead and use my bonus action to raid.
Nice. Cobbles from the platform, jumps up, takes his warhammer,
in trouble now.
swings it around his head, and in midair, kind of like a Hulk smash, slams it down on the ground with great gusto, and he smashes down 3 twig blights. Just don't know what hit him literally, and just boom. And yeah, he definitely smashes them apart. He looks up at Saeleas, Sarsa, and Jerik, and he says, "Get her to the ship! Get her to the ship! I'll hold him off!" Saeleas is up.
Right. Saeleas is.
Saeleas, fireball!
I don't have that.
Fireball!
Saeleas is. Can I Can he tell which of the vine blights seem to be holding the most people, or does it sort of just look like a big mishmash of vines?
It's a pretty big mishmash. There's a couple of vine blights have created difficult terrain, which none of you have gotten to yet. There's only 10 of them, and there's a good like 60 twig blights. But there's a couple of them that
Saeleas wants to help the townsfolk get away, and I figure the vine blights are holding them. So he'll target one of them, whichever one makes the most sense. He'll do a fire bolt because I don't have fireball at them. So.
So Saeleas shoots out this smaller than a fireball looking thing,
and probably misses because I rolled a 3 + 7 is 10.
So it actually goes wide and hits one of the neighboring establishing shops that fixes shoes, and then you hear this voice go, "Hey,
sorry!" And then as I guess reaction,
that's my shop.
Jabin, get inside, protect yourself.
Of course, and Jabin runs inside, and he said, "Don't do anything stupid," and he runs inside and kind of ducks down.
What the crap was that?
I missed. It's far away.
At
I need my
that
glasses.
moment, from the south sky, Sarsa, you look up, having a great perception, and you see what kind of looks like a bunch of little hot dogs. Like they look like they look like little things, and what are all these little hot dogs? And
like hot dogs, like without buns, or
yeah,
like
without
just
buns,
like
just like little
sausages?
wieners. They're flying.
I've had this dream.
And you notice a little
You've had
clear, and
way
you're
too
like,
much to
wait a
drink.
minute, are these more snake doodles? Like, are these more of those? And you notice, oh no, they're not snakes that are dogs. They're just snakes that fly.
Flying snake.
And there is about
Which is worse.
100 of them.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's darkening the sky, and they are
I need some
flying
AOP.
down, and they are starting to wrap around necks. They're starting to bite and attack people, and they are all they are definitely
Are
going to
any
make
of
some
them coming
attacks.
within 15 feet of me?
Yeah, a couple of them.
Because if they are, the moment they enter that space, my stingrays is gonna.
Yep, a couple of them are. So you get an opportunity attack.
Well,
with them?
no, they have to make a wisdom save.
Oh, okay. Well, they're snakes. So, all right. They rolled a natural 20. Oh, no. These snakes are like brainiacs, yo.
Okay.
I am very aware.
Well,
of my
but they all
presence.
take 5 damage.
Okay,
so
all right, that's
they
good.
still take half.
Still.
All right, a couple of them hit. You
surroundings.
see snakes hit stingrays, and there is a clash of ethereal nature, flying snakes and
Why does it have to be
spiritual
snakes?
stingrays. Yeah, and a couple of them just kind of fizzle into nothingness. A couple of the stingrays kind of fizzle, so they're all going at it. Definitely in
You
your
know
area.
what's great about the open ocean? There's no bloody snakes.
All right,
Sea snakes. But
couple of the twig blights. That's the
actually,
twig blights' turn.
saltwater sea snakes.
A few of them tighten grasps. A few of them are starting to crawl on the platform in the middle, and confirming the sound that you heard a little bit earlier, you hear a lot of these twig cracking sounds coming in from the outskirts of town, and you can see now what looks like right out of a zombie movie of just all these shambling herd of twig blight after twig blight coming in into the streets, and they're coming straight for town square.
Like Katamari.
And they're coming straight for you guys. They're still about 60 feet out from the entrance to the tavern, but you guys are all kind of like in front of that. The cult guys who opened up the bags are going to try to kill some people. That's kind of what they do.
this is a day.
Boy, what a day.
You like just got
One.
into town. So tired.
Walking for 30 days. You probably dragged Saeleas like extra.
Wow.
You haven't even had a bath yet.
Jeez. Okay.
We can tell.
Out of 8, one of them hit. Jeez. This is what hired help is like.
Did you use my dice for that?
Nope, I didn't. So he stabs Evet Rosales, the mayor, and she goes down on a knee.
Somebody save her.
Like, no, don't hurt the statue. It's an investment.
Well, at least she's got a priority straight.
All right. And just then, because she goes down, a vine blight wraps around her neck She clenches at it, and it tightens a little bit, and you can see her hand goes limp, and she falls down. Top of the round, Sarsa, you are up.
We're doing a
You
bang
have
job here,
an
guys.
encroaching wave of twig blights coming into the town square. Within the next minute, they will all be there.
Sarsa looks at Cobbles, who has just yelled to save the princess, and she kind of gives
queen.
like a really resigned like sigh, like, can't believe I'm having to do this again. And so she'll rush as far as she can towards the stage. And again, any of those vine blights or hired help assassins that are within 15 feet of her as she does that, take a smack from a stingray to the face.
Okay.
If you want to do that.
Yeah,
And
a
then,
couple of the snakes will kind of fizzle, and a couple of the vine blights, start swiping. And because you have these stingrays around you, every time they swipe and they get within a stingray, it actually like fizzes out their arm, and it's like kind of like they're going through an acid field or something.
pretty
like that.
effective little spirit guardians.
Nice.
And then
So you're making your way towards Queen
the princess.
Queen
or sorry,
Mora.
queen. Sorry, I forgot about the promotion.
She is a queen.
She's a queen. And are there any of those like hired help guys like near her, or what would be? Was there anybody like that's like in between me and her, like that?
Like the Queen's Guard or the cult guys?
Bad guys. Cult
Yeah,
guys.
the cult guys are around the stage. They're trying to climb up to stab.
Okay,
Stabby
I'm assuming
stab.
though there would be one I would approach to like get to her.
Yes.
Like between me and her.
Yeah.
Okay. Then I'm gonna go to that guy, and I'm going to take my little mace
Okay.
and try and smack him and inflict wounds on him. So that's gonna be.
Inflict wounds is mean.
That's gonna be a 19 plus 4, so it's gonna be a 23 to
That
hit.
definitely hits.
And she's doing that as a second level. Sorry, I didn't say that. I'm a jerk.
That's fine.
So that's gonna
Now
be
that it hits its 4th level.
so it's gonna be 4d10.
Jeez. And inflict wounds is mean.
Inflict wounds is like, I mean, that's like clerics.
It's a heavy hitter.
You know. But it does 15 damage with
Okay.
4d10.
Well, so there are 2 of them within your range that are in front of the stage. You swing the mace with a pretty wide berth, and you knock the heads kind of to the side. You hear a little, which is not a twig; it's a neck bone, and 2 of them go down.
Oh, nice.
With that hit.
All right, Your Majesty. It looks like we're going to be heading to me ship.
And Cobbles turns around and he says, "You have to keep her safe. I'll hold them off."
How did Sarsa get ahead of me?
All right.
She's pretty nimble.
The dwarf monk kind of is making his way. So you just see him leap off of the stage. He kind of does a couple of parkour kicks against the twig blights, kind of kicks one to the side and leaps up on a building on a terrace, climbs up the window and does another leap, and so he's up on a rooftop. That's his turn, is just taking that extra motion to try to get closer to Cole Satori. Jerik, you're up.
Is Colsimo Massimo his attention on the queen?
Right now he's kind of surveying everything. He's making sure his troops, he's kind of looking at all these forces and sort of calling in what looks like he's sort of motioning in the twig blights into the square. He's not directly looking at the queen, from what you can tell.
So
but he also sees this dwarf that's heading towards him, too. He's kind of looking down.
So, Jerik will run towards the queen and see who he runs into on the way.
You'll run into a couple of needle blights and one or 2 of the cultists.
Can I run past them, or?
The needle blights will have an attack of opportunity against you.
All right, I will take it.
Okay. That is a 17 to hit.
Shield.
Okay, and you ting, 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 like darts in a obstacle course, just hit your shield.
So can I get to her? Or
You
where do I
can
end
you
up?
can get to the stage where the queen is and the other royal party.
Am I in touching distance of her, or like what's around me at that point?
So if you want, you can climb up on the stage. You still have a little bit of movement. Cobbles is also kind of right there, kind of back to her, and he's kind of human shielding her as well, and Kishara and Nuzir are also doing the same thing. They're kind of blocking her. And you hear Mora, and she's like, "I can protect myself. Get away. I can fight."
I'll say, that's what I'm counting on. And I put my hand on her shoulder, and I cast Shield of Faith to boost her AC by 2.
Okay.
And then I announce to everybody attacking, "She's right here! Come and get her!" I'm going to run with her towards the docks and hope to draw all the forces with us.
All right.
Behind us.
Okay. All right, so +2 to AC to Queen Mora. Kishara.
She might need it.
Kishara, the wizard, it's her. She's up, and she kind of looks at you, kind of quizzically, like, "What did you just do?" And
Better
she's
protect
like,
her.
"All right." And she says, "We'll meet you on the ship." And she kind of motions to Nazir, and Nazir kind of rolls his eyes a little bit, and he kind of does this motion in a triangle shape, and all of a sudden you see a portal appear above him, and it goes down and lowers down over Nazir and Kishara, and it's like a dimension door essentially. So he is able to teleport both of them away somewhere.
Bam.
Oh, well, that's nice for them.
Convenient.
Thanks for the help, guys.
I mean, they meant my ship, right? That's the only
I
ship
feel
we're
like they
talking about
probably
here.
mean the flying ship, the magic flying ship that they came on. That might be more maneuverable. Not that I'm insulting the cruddy squeal
Cole
or whatever.
Satori is floating above, and he floats down a little bit closer to the dwarf monk that's leaping towards him, and he says,
Ah, Callum. It's been a while since we've seen each other. But I have become more powerful.
Callum says, "I don't believe you're possible. It's possible for you to be like this. If it was really you, Massimo, you wouldn't do this." And Cole Satori just kind of...
You're right. I wouldn't do this if I were Massimo.
And he takes his sword and kind of swings in front of the dwarf.
There can be only one.
And the dwarf is not able to avoid that, and he takes this kind of big cut, and almost in slow motion you see the dwarf kind of fall, like, and he falls back and falls all the way down and hits the ground.
Oof.
Coach, you're up.
Coach. Coach is going to keep pressing forward, kind of pushing through the twig blights as much as he can. And he's going to do another thunderclap.
Okay, and you're raging, right?
And I'm raging.
Okay.
Better believe it. DC 17, Constitution saving throw from all these twig blights around me, or cultists, or whoever they are.
We'll say some twig blights and cultists are around you.
I'm moving 35 feet forward.
Oh, that is a 2 plus nothing. So so you definitely, they fail.
Woo! 6 damage to them. And I'm going to go ahead and use my bonus action to ram into one of them with my armor. So 19 to hit.
Yeah, definitely hits.
And they're going to take a d4 of damage. 7 damage. More damage with my armor.
All right.
Whoever poor soul I ran into.
You take out about 5 more twig blights, just ramming through, just
Boom!
and knock through. And you're heading also towards the docks as well.
Yes. Well, I was trying to head to the queen, but
The queen. Okay, so
Yeah.
Jerik has grabbed Mora. Sarsa is also right there. You're right behind him, and
I'm up on the roof still.
You're up on the roof still. Okay.
I've only had one turn to be. So
Okay, all right, all
I'm
right.
calm
Fair
down now.
enough.
So
All right.
they're still in the center. They're not. They haven't passed the inn with the queen yet.
No,
And by they I mean these guys.
tavern is more east, and the docks are west.
Okay.
So they are like past you. They're not going to pass you.
Okay, they're not coming back my way. Okay,
No.
gotcha. I see.
So
on the
it's
map now.
Cobble's turn. Cobbles is going to knock out a couple, or he's going to attempt to knock out a couple more, and he again kind of turns to Jerik and Sarsa and says, "Just get her as far as you can. I will hold them off." And he tries to attack some of the cultists. Takes out 2 of the cultists. Bam, bam, smash, smash. Saeleas, now it's your turn.
All right. First thing Saeleas will do is he will climb down the rope.
Okay, very gingerly.
Yeah.
Don't worry about Saeleas. I've seen a 9-year-old cast fireball. I'm sure he's gonna make his way right through.
And then, I would like to find a line of burnable creatures that, with a 5-foot width of,
I know what
creatures without hitting any civilians.
Okay. How long is this?
30 feet.
30 feet. Okay. Well, you see within, there's a lot of chaos going on.
I was up on the roof surveilling.
Roll a perception check
Sure.
for the success rate of what you see in the chaos.
That would be a 14.
Okay. So you have a pretty good sense of there are a lot of twig blights in a row. About 30 feet away, you can't really tell if there's innocent bystanders, but you're going to take that chance.
Well, here's hoping. All right. So I will cast Agonaz. How did we decide we were going to pronounce this
However
word?
you want to.
Agonazers.
Agonazer's Scorcher. He's going to cast
Aganazer.
one of those.
Okay.
Every creature in that line. So it's 30 feet long,
Just gonna
5
roll-
feet
I'm
wide.
going to roll for all of them. So they rolled a 3 plus 1 is 4, so they all fail.
borrow. Thanks. All right.
Give me some damage.
3d8. Here we go.
Do it.
14 damage to all of them.
Okay.
To each of them.
All right.
Agonazer's Scorcher!
You
You don't have to say it,
I
Saeleas.
want-
Okay, Saeleas steps in front, and he's down on the ground. He lets out this 30-foot wave of flame, and it's what color flame is it? It's just
Flame colored.
okay, it's just normal flame. It's
Red.
It's crazy
Orange.
red flame, and 14 different twig blights in this line just burst into flame. It also causes some flame of the buildings to catch fire. So a couple of the buildings start to catch fire.
What's a little property damage
Roll a
between
D20.
friends?
There's a lake.
As long as it's not the library, I'm happy.
Yeah.
For your wild magic.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. Well, roll a
yes.
d20, please.
9.
Okay, you are fine. No wild
And
magic
then
went
if
off.
I have any movement left, I will continue. I will make my
Wild
way
magic.
towards the dock.
Okay.
Hello, Knights of the Roll Table. This is Chris Daly, your new dungeon master for season 2 of the podcast. We hope you all are enjoying season 2 so far. This episode was crazy and there's a lot of combat and weird stuff happening. And I promise this is just the beginning of the adventures of Marcatia, so keep listening. We want to get the word out about the show, and we definitely need your help. So we're having our first Knights of the Roll Table contest. Stick around until after the episode, after the final music has played, to hear the details and how to enter. You might win something really cool, and we're really excited. Thanks for rating, reviewing, and hitting that subscribe button on Apple Podcasts. Liking and subscribing on YouTube, following on Spotify, Podbean, Stitcher, Podcast A Go-Go, Google Podcast. One of those might not be real, but thank you for the rates and reviews. We really appreciate it. We know we're not the only D&D actual play podcast out there, and we really honestly thank you for listening so much and giving us a chance. We also love feedback. We thrive on it even. But if you haven't left a comment in iTunes, please do so, because otherwise Matt, who plays Saeleas, will become sad and he'll start playing with bees again, and it was a real mess last time. It's kind of a thing. So don't let Matt play with bees. Please leave a comment. Be sure to check us out on Instagram at Knights of the Roll Table Podcast. You can see new artwork of Jerik Dark Harbor, Sarsa Demisalt, and the big bad Nesty introduced this week, Cole Satori. Or you can check out my personal account at Daily Tunes RPG, where you can see a lot of RPG artwork. Weston Gardner, who does all of our theme music, editing, and has amazing hair prowess, can make you a custom RPG character anthem for you. Check out his audio skills at Make My Anthem. If you have a D&D question or need some DM advice for your campaign, you can leave us a question or give us feedback at knightsoftherolletable@gmail.com. There are several of us that are DMs in the group, and we will brain trust your issue into a solution, and we'd love to hear from you. And finally, follow us on Twitter at Rolled Table. That's all of our announcements. Thanks for listening. Let's get back to the action. And don't forget to go out and make life an adventure.
And we'll say that Jabin is also following along behind
coming
you,
with
and
me?
he's kind of like smacking people with books, and that's your thing.
Spanking him.
Get back, and he's like right behind you. We'll say, just for the sake of expediency, that all of you guys kind of managed to get around Mora, and kind of you're protecting her, and you're making your way towards the docks, and we are going to do a skill challenge. Your goal is to protect Mora from where you are and a couple of blocks in to get to her flying ship, which is docked at the docks. I'm going to give you a couple of obstacles along the way, and the way the skill challenge works, because it's the first time we've done it, it's a 4th edition thing. So the way it works is I'm going to come to you, and you can use one of your proficiency skills, something that you're proficient in. You can creatively tell me how you would like to handle this. Once you have used a particular skill, you can't use it again, but somebody else could.
Gotcha.
And it has to be something that you are proficient in. So you let me know what you want to do. I'll have you roll for it. I'm going to be keeping track of successes or failures. This is going to be particularly difficult because of all the chaos that's going on, but essentially your goal is to get Mora to there. And based on how many successes or failures you have, it will determine what happens later. So you guys are moving along as kind of like protecting Mora in the center, the 4 of you, or the 5 of you, because Jabin's also there as well, running along. You just hear people screaming, and all of a sudden you see a couple of twig blights and a vine blight come off to the side from out of the alleyway, and they're all in front of you. And Coach, what would you like to do?
Wait, they're in front of him?
No, they're in front of all of you.
All of us.
They're
We're all
kind
around
They're
Mora.
kind of creating a wall in front of you. There are other alleyways. You could go back, but that's
We
kind
do
of...
still have a circle of stingrays. I've got concentration on that.
That's up to Coach. It's up to Coach to kind of decide
Okay,
what
so
kind of skill.
Coach, Coach is going to use kind of the handle of his warhammer,
Okay.
And he's going to try his best to stop the oncoming, almost like using like a riot shield, so that you guys can go maybe down a different way, because that way it's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to use my athletics to
Okay.
like hold them back.
All right.
And I'm still raging.
Yeah, athletics check. So I'll give you advantage on this.
Oh, I rolled double 2s, so 2 and a 2.
Okay.
So that's 8 total.
All right. You push against these twig blights, and they are pushing back, and they're just using their little twig mouths and kind of. It's sort of a stalemate, but you're able to actually kind of push them off to the left enough where the rest of your group is able to get by them just barely. You're able to kind of like squeeze by one at a time, single file, and you just give one last kind of push, and you kind of squeeze through with an extra flex of your biceps, and you're able to get by.
My left bicep.
It takes a little bit longer
skip
than you
left
would be
bicep day.
hoping for. You didn't quite get the traction with your cleats, but you're able to get by a little bit further. You guys keep walking. Running towards the docks. You take a left, and there is a wall of fire that has been erected, and it's just fire, and you kind of have to get through this alleyway. Sarsa, what would you like to do?
So there's a fire.
There's a wall of fire, and it's about 6 feet high. What would you like to do?
Can I use my perception to try and find a different way to go around?
So go ahead. Yeah, you can use perception. Go ahead and roll a perception check.
Okay. That's a 5 plus 7, so that's a 12.
Okay. You, with that, look around. You would basically be going back to where those twig blights are, but you do, with your 12, see a couple of barrels that are to the left in front of a coopersmith. They have corks in the top of them.
Oh, so they probably have some form of liquid that's hopefully not as alcoholic as Sarsa's breath. So she's
It's
gonna.
gunpowder.
I'd like to
would actually
open one
work.
of those
Okay.
real quick.
You
and-
open it. Some moisture dribbles off the cork. It's probably some sort of liquid.
All right, then she's gonna take out. Help
Doesn't
me!
smell like particularly anything.
Let's see if we can use these to douse these flames so we can move on through.
All right.
So she's
you,
gonna try to lift, maybe with somebody else. Maybe she'd probably go to Jerik because she like relies on him more often than
Okay.
anybody.
So you lift up a barrel
And
that's uncorked, and
Attempts
it goes. Bloop, bloop, bloop.
I mean, like she wouldn't put that part down. Like that would be the top part, and then she'd just slam it into the flames.
Okay, so you're just throwing the barrel in hopes that.
It'll.
It is not flammable.
Well, the water inside of it is going to be more dousing than it would be
All right,
flammable.
all right. This was a perception check. So you did that. You found the barrel. You throw the barrel in, and it kind of goes boom, boom, poof, and kind of falls apart. You're kind of questioning the skill of the Coopersmith at this point, but it falls apart enough to have a little bridge of water. It is water, and it douses some of the flames. A lot of steam goes up, and you guys are able to leap over the
Sarsa
broken
would
barrel.
recognize alcohol if it was alcohol.
It was not alcohol. It was not a giant barrel of alcohol in the middle of the thing. So you're able
Sarsa
to
would've
leap
drank it
over
already.
the barrel and get over past the flames. Okay, you guys keep running. You hear this kind of crumble, and to your right, there's a couple of people fighting. You actually see Callum, the dwarf, and he's fighting Cole Satori, and he's actually gotten back up, and they're kind of fighting. He throws a couple of punches, some radiant beams. One of the radiant beams hits one of the awnings that's on top, and some rubble comes falling down towards you, Jerik. What would you like to do? It's falling down right on top of you guys.
All right. Well, doesn't seem like a charisma situation. I guess
Please,
I'll use athletics to throw up my shield.
Okay,
and
athletics.
try to block it from the queen and the others.
Okay, roll athletics.
14.
All right. Yeah, shield goes up. You block. It bounces off. This rubble, doesn't hit anybody in the head, and you're able to keep moving on. You hear this kind of scuffle on the top, and there's a lot of kind of energy waves. You are a couple blocks away. You keep moving. You see a small boy, and he's being wrapped by tendrils of a vine blight, Saeleas. What would you like to do?
All right. I'll use my nature
Okay.
skill to recall anything I know about plants that would maybe help make the vines release.
You know that this particular strain of plant that the vine blight seems to be made of thrives in a temperate zone, and in warmer environments, it does not like the cold.
So it doesn't like cold.
Nope.
All right. So can I use that to then use my frostbite on it?
Yeah,
All right.
absolutely.
Frostbite.
So you cast Frostbite. The vine shrivels and kind of turns this blackish blue. It releases the child, and he's like, ah! And
Run
he just kind
away!
of runs, and he runs.
Get yourself
He
somewhere
actually
safe.
runs towards the docks as well. You see a lot of people are also running towards the dock because everything else in the city has. You kind of get the sense that it's becoming overrun, so everyone
Or it's on fire.
Or it's also on fire. You're not the only one that caused some fire, but there are a lot of things that are aflame or falling down.
Oh, my
and
books.
everyone is running towards boats or different
Mondays,
ships
am I
and things
right?
in the docks.
My library
If they're
has,
not dead.
has fireproof spells.
All right,
on
so
it.
you guys keep running. You keep running. You come to an alleyway, and there are a couple of royal guards, and they're fighting some of these cultists, and they're back and forth. The cultists have the guards by the throat with knives. Coach, what would you like to do?
Oh,
They're
cultists by the
blocking
throat with
your
knives.
way. They're blocking your way, and you kind of have to get by them in order to make it to the docks.
I'm gonna try and. Oh wait, are we near water right now?
You're still a couple blocks.
Okay, so a couple guards are being gripped by vine blights.
Cultists.
Cultists.
They're being held by the neck, and they're kind of like, a couple of them actually have a knife to their throat, and they're looking at you guys like, we're
Okay.
gonna do it. We're gonna do it.
I'm just gonna look at them. I'm gonna stop, and I'm gonna hold out both my warhammers, and I'm gonna say,
Yeah, you're not gonna do it.
I'm trying to use intimidation.
Okay. Awesome. Okay. Roll an intimidation.
Come on, coach.
Natural 1.
Oh, no.
2s and 1s.
He says it, and his voice just cracks right in the middle. He's
You're
like,
not gonna do it.
Coach, I think they might.
Should have had that ale earlier.
So technically it's a 3.
Okay. They kind of look at you and go, and they do it.
oh no.
So then they rush at you, but then quickly amongst all of you, you kind of take out the cultists. You're able to get past them, but
Stingrays go
unfortunately the
flying.
King's Guard, the Royal Guards, the Queen's Guards are not as lucky. So you move on, you kind of disperse that. It takes a couple minutes. So you move on. You're almost at the docks. They are within sight. You see them. And then there is a wave of these vine blights that come out of nowhere. They've created this difficult terrain. There's about 20 feet of vine entanglements that have sprung up. The vine blights themselves are off to the side. They're just like kind of causing it. But you'd have to either slowly make your way through the vines. Jerik or Sarsa, what would you guys like to do?
With our powers
With a skill.
Well, I mean, I think that'd be an athletics to try, or acrobatics. Athletics to just get to kind of navigate it. And like, I think Sarsa would say, just follow me. And like, she'd start navigating it as athletically as possible.
Okay, roll an athletics check. Jerik, what would you like to do?
I guess I'll help her with that using stealth.
Okay.
Except I actually forgot earlier. Not only is my stealth only +3, I actually have disadvantage on it because of my chainmail. So I'll help as much as I can, gingerly.
Okay, so roll athletics with advantage. So you're kind of like helping the queen. You're helping people get through it.
That's a nat 20.
Nice.
Oh,
Don't
yeah.
let the
All
vines
right.
That's
hear
going to be
you.
like a 24.
All right, so you guys, you kind of like you're navigating your way through a laser grid, in a thief movie, in a heist movie. You're kind of navigating your way. You're showing everybody kind of where to put their feet. You're even looking back and you're like giving a little head nod.
Her little tail is like
and
wagging
you
back
don't
and forth,
even
like,
hit
meh.
any of the vines. In fact, every time your foot touches down, you leave this little spiritual aura behind.
like lit up.
Yeah, it's kind of lit up like ding, 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 ding. And so everybody knows exactly where
That's
to
awesome.
step.
We're playing a game of Simon.
Red, green, blue, yellow, red, green.
That's your Tom Hanks and Big, basically. And everybody's just like ding, 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 ding. So everybody really easily makes their way through.
Your Majesty, I hope you're paying mighty good amount for this.
You see the ship, and it is now starting to float a little bit. It's only like a couple of feet off of the water. Kishara Fenro and Nuzir are on the ship. They are actually, along with some Queen's Guard, ushering other towns members up on this Aravan. I'm calling it the Aravan. That they're bringing up, and so they probably like teleported, and they are helping other people to kind of get up there. And they're also like occasionally you see Nuzir kind of shoot out a beam of some kind and hit a couple of twig blights, so he's playing defense while Kishara is bringing other people on.
I hate to admit it, but that is a real nice ship.
That's pretty cool.
It's pretty cool, and but it's getting kind of full, so there's other ships like sailing vessels that towns members are getting on as well. You guys get to pretty much where you need to be, and you're about to get the queen onto the ship, and then just then Kol Satori comes down and lands right in front of your path. Skill challenge is now over. We're going to roll a new initiative.
Oh,
so
good.
everybody roll initiative again, because it's kind of new people.
Hey, that's
Come on,
much better.
peach Dice,
Okay.
do better.
Kol
He
Satori
was not ready for that.
rolled terrible initiative, but he lands and he says,
I'm afraid I can't let you take her.
You're afraid?
No, I can't let you take her. I need to get my
You can.
revenge.
Fuck up,
Stop
little guy. You
interrupting
can-
me.
Oh, sorry. Just start from the
and
beginning.
his
We'll be
purple lights glow and she starts steaming out. Just then, you hear this, and you see Cobbles coming from the alleyway, and he's just like,
What a hunk.
"No, you have to get her on the ship. I'll hold him off." And he like runs and runs, and then also the dwarf that was fighting him, Callum, also has leaped out, and you see his left arm is really limp, and it's just kind of like, but he's like running and jumping right towards him. They're trying to, seems like both of those guys are trying to create some kind of distraction for you guys to keep going. But you're in initiative, you can do what you want. Saeleas, you're up first.
All right. Saeleas will cast Chromatic Orb
Chromatic Orb.
at the big guy.
At Kol Satori, okay.
Yes.
So what, does he
So-
need to make a save? Or?
That is actually, I believe I roll. Yeah, I roll. So that is, I got a 16 to hit.
Okay. That misses.
All right. Then nothing happens.
Okay. So you shoot. He just kind of looks at you like.
Just runs into your ship.
That was a warning shot.
Not a squall.
And then Cobbles comes up and he
Another.
leaps again with his warhammer, strikes down
Oh, and
and smacks into Kol Satori, but it does not seem to do any damage. Just kind of reverberates. You hear this boom It's very impressive, but he's wearing a very strong armor.
How far ahead of us is he?
He's about 10 feet in front of you, so very close.
So he's getting hit by my stingrays, is what you're saying.
Yeah. Does that happen on your turn or just like
it happens when they enter that space.
Okay, so we'll say just for the sake of like when this happens because it's your turn right now. Mm-hmm. So go ahead and roll damage for that.
Well, he needs to do a wisdom save first.
Okay, wisdom save. That's a 17.
He saves, so he'll take half damage, and so it's a 13, so he'll take 6 damage.
And what would you like to do?
Oh dear!
See all these stingrays kind of flying around, attack him. He doesn't seem.
Is he? But he looks like he's still pretty.
He's a gleaming, evil-looking, black-armored, glowing menace.
Okay. She's gonna use her vicious mockery cantrip.
Okay.
And she's going to say, if you're a real proper hero, you wouldn't have died, and they wouldn't have had to make a big honking statue of you.
Dang. Harsh.
Like, you're nothing but a big old bully. He has to make a wisdom saving throw.
Another wisdom save? Okay.
Yep.
You rolled 18.
Well, then I guess he saves.
He's not that wise.
Sticks and stones.
All right. Just then, about 4 vine blights come out from the side alleyways on the side of the docks, and they run towards some of you. So, Jerik and Saeleas, I need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
5.
17.
Okay. Jerik deftly maneuvers and is able to move his feet fast enough, but Saeleas is entangled by plants and gets a couple of his appendages wrapped up in these vines. All right, Jerik, it's your turn.
We have access to the Aravan, or is it out
It
of
is
reach?
within 10 feet. If you're able to get around Kol Satori, he may have an attack of opportunity against you if you go past him, or if you want to go out a little bit further around him, because he's currently engaged with both the dwarf monk and also cobbles.
Is the the queen on her way up onto the? Is she like directed
She's
that way?
right next to you.
Okay. So I'm gonna tell her, go, get up there and get out of here. Draw some of them with you, and I'm gonna cast Compelled Duel on Kol Satori.
Ooh.
It's a bonus action. Wow. It's another Wisdom save.
Oh, jeez. Okay. He rolled a 6.
Oh yeah.
So that's a failure.
Save DC. So he has disadvantage on attacks other than against me. He has to attack me. If he tries to attack anybody else, he has disadvantage.
Does he know that, or
yes,
he wants to attack? It's kind
I mean, I think it's probably kind of a mental thing that he feels compelled to attack me, and if he tries to resist that, it's not going to go well.
Okay, gotcha.
So if he tries to get more than 30 feet away from me, he makes another Wisdom save. If he fails, it restricts his movement for that turn.
Okay.
Ooh.
Cool.
If I attack anyone else, spell ends. Then
That's
I guess
it.
I'm
That's
going
all
to
it
attack
is.
him. You know what? Actually, so what I'll do
He
with
really
my
wants to
action-
fight you now.
He wants to fight me. That was my bonus action, Compelled Duel, so his attention should be directed towards me. I told the queen to go, and for my action, I will activate my Sacred Weapon, which is my Channel Divinity ability, and my sword lights up and gets strong. But that's an action on its own, so that's my turn.
Okay.
Special sword.
Coach, you're up.
Coach. Using my final rage. He's going to use Reckless Attack against Kol Satori.
Okay.
So, first attack. Yeah, that's a lot. That's like 24.
That hits.
Okay. Let me just see how many hit first. So, I'll do another one. 25.
Yep.
Double Warhammers. So, the first one is 9, 11 damage. And the second strike is, 14 damage. So a total of...
25.
25.
25.
All
Big
right.
number.
Yeah.
I just forgot what the first roll was.
Takes a couple of big hits.
Finally a challenge.
Over here, eyes on me, over here.
Kind of looks and then he kind of turns his head slowly
Now you
back
can hit me.
towards Jerik.
If you swing at me, you have advantage.
Yeah. So the needle blights that have come from the side as well, they are going to needle blight attack Sarsa and 19 to hit.
That's going to hit me.
Yeah. Okay, so a couple of needles come shooting at you into the neck. And you take a little bit of damage. Cole Satori turns his eyes, purple glowing eyes, towards Jerik and says,
Fine. I'll finish you off first.
and he comes at you and he will attack. His purple flaming longsword is going to make an attack. Two-handed, 26 to hit.
It's like a Mace Windu longsword.
I mean, yeah, that's going to hit.
He makes 2 attacks. The second one is a 17.
That will miss.
Okay.
Or, I mean, probably hit me, but my
Okay.
armor will resist.
So you take 1 hit. You take 15 points of slashing damage and 3 points of fire damage.
This is a bad idea.
Okay. And he says,
Ready for more?
and then it's the top of the round. And Saeleas, you are currently grappled
All right.
by vines.
The vine blight that attacked me. Can I see it?
It's behind you, but you can turn your head and see it. Yeah.
All right. Is there anything else in like a direct line, either between me and it or after it?
Nope.
So it's just by itself.
And yep. And then Jabin's behind him. He's like, "What you waiting for?
All right. I mean,
Do something!"
I'll firebolt it.
Okay. Firebolt.
Firebolt. Pew. Automatic miss.
Natural 1.
Lee, I thought you'd been doing some target practice at least on your journey.
It's been a long 30 days. I just need.
I mean, you had time to make friends with another dwarf man, but you didn't have time to practice shooting straight every once in a while.
You didn't drink enough water.
I'm not
asking
properly
you.
Hydrated.
Short shorts.
Get on the ship.
All right, Cobbles
trying.
comes behind Cole Satori and slams with his warhammer, and that misses. So he does not.
Sounds
He
like
also,
Cobbles.
I can't. Nothing's working.
and he's just very frustrated. Sarsa.
It's your form.
Free me. Help.
All right. So he's kind of blocking it, so like I can't try and like push or escort Mora onto the ship, right?
Yeah. Mora, by the way, because I didn't put her in this initiative, but since Jerik told her to move, he was able to distract enough where Mora was able to get to the ship. She's just about to climb up.
Then that's good. And how far am I from Jerik?
He's
We were kinda right next
engaging
to
with
each
Cole
other.
Satori, so you guys are about 10 feet away from each other.
Okay. I'm gonna rush up to him, and I'm going to cast my Cure Wounds on him. It's a level 1.
Okay.
And that's gonna heal him 8 damage.
So 8 points.
Just
Healing.
a little something.
Not damage, healing.
Well, yeah, heals up that.
Okay.
And and whenever Cole Satori starts his turn, he's still taking my stingrays.
7 more vine blights come out from the side, and there is more on the way. They try to grab Coach and Sarsa. So that's a 9 and a 19 to entangle you. To hit, sorry.
I was like, I don't
hit.
know what that means.
So 9 to hit
Misses.
and then 19.
That'll hit.
Okay,
that'll entangle me.
So that's
but
an entangle, and then it also does a little bit of damage. So 11 points of bludgeoning damage.
Can I use my
Now you can, yes.
now I can. Yay!
They
Okay.
are close enough to you. They're trying to grapple you, like kind of wrapping around you. And what does that do?
So basically, she's going to say, "Oh, you picked the wrong tiefling," and she's going to point at them, and like lightning is going to burst out of her fingers, and they have to make a dex save.
Okay, they will do that, and it's a 5.
Yeah, that's a fail.
Okay.
So they're going to take 2d8 of lightning damage.
These vine blights do not like lightning.
It's going to be 11.
With that, you actually take out 2 of them. Just electrocuted.
Noise.
The one right behind you and another one that was kind of encroaching. But there are several, about 10 more coming from the left, 10 more coming from behind. You guys are being quickly surrounded by vine blights and twig blights. Jerik, you're up. You're engaged with Cole Satori.
Yeah, I am.
You guys have picked out drapes.
Congratulations.
We just met.
I'm so happy
fast.
for
I just
you.
don't
You
know-
registered
I
at
don't
Bed
know
Bath
what
and
to think.
Beyond.
Well, I'm going to use this sacred weapon, and I'm going to swing my sword at him, and specifically, I'm going to go towards his helmet, because if anything else, my sword is also glowing, so even if I miss, I'd try to blind him.
And so is his.
Distraction.
Got these two glowing swords
you.
that are...
It's basically like a Pink Floyd concert.
Okay, so sacred weapon gives a big bonus, so that is 35.
That hits.
Whoa.
How big of a bonus?
Plus 15.
It's a lot.
Jerik, could you wrap this up? I'd like to go get a pint.
All right, so that's going to be 9 damage, and I'm also going to use a spell slot to Divine Smite, which is going to be, another 2 and 5 total. So altogether with a Divine Smite, that's 14 damage.
Okay, how much was the Divine
that's
Smite?
Enough. 2d8.
Okay, so halved.
That would be 3.
Okay.
So you have a resistance to radiant
You notice
damage.
that he definitely takes some damage, but it's not as much as you thought, because it kind of just like shimmers off, and he just goes,
Nice try, warrior.
This could be a problem.
Coach!
Coach is so confused why he just hit him twice and ran away. And went to fight it. Hey, I just hit you twice.
Get on the ship, coach.
Yeah, right.
And you hear Queen Mora say, "It's not worth it. Get on the ship right now. We need to leave."
Fine. All right.
Protect the queen, coach.
Coach is gonna use his bonus, his action to hand Cobbles one of his cards. So he's gonna hand it.
Okay.
Cobbles, no, this is really important.
What?
There's a little map on there. I'll see you soon. All right.
What are you...
He's gonna run over and try and jump on the ship.
You do so.
I did it.
You're able to successfully get on the ship.
job,
you kind of like
Coach.
take a leap. Yeah, you have
Use some help.
pretty strong legs, so you're able to just leap up, and one of the other guys kind of grabs you, and one of the guards, and pulls you up. So Coach is on the Aravan. Needle blights.
That Sarsa's got a drinking problem.
That's true.
Sarsa is
Not wrong.
the needle blights. These are other needle blights that are kind of encroaching. They are going to shoot some needles at Jerik. That's a 17 to hit.
No.
Okay, that's a miss.
Yeah.
All right, 16 misses.
Yeah.
16 misses.
Bring it.
Miss. All right, all of them miss. They're all just
I got this.
ding, 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 ding. They all miss. Cole Satori, however, is going to attack
I don't
you
have
again.
this.
He's just,
Let's try this again, shall we?
and he is going to attack you 25 to hit.
You know what? I can hook you up with free
And a
drinks.
23 to hit.
Oh.
So both of
those are gonna
those
hit.
hit. You take
A lot.
Maybe you shouldn't have told me to get on the ship.
I did tell you to get on the ship.
I know I could be down there.
30 points
I'll say.
of damage.
Oh my gosh.
That's an even number. All right.
Coach is sitting pretty at 50 HP, just like, all right, well.
Would you like some more, human?
So compel duel is a concentration
You
spell.
want to roll for concentration?
Probably. So that'd be 10.
So you're good. You're
All
still
right,
concentrating
so
on
you
your.
barely
not
hold
good.
concentration on compelled duel.
You did it.
All right,
He
Saeleas.
still wants to kill
Top
you.
of
I
the
would
round.
be fine if
Top
that
of the
had
round.
failed.
Top of the round. Saeleas is
You
up.
could just drop the spell.
Yes, so it's my
So
turn.
you're still
Entangled.
entangled by some vines, and they are doing
All right.
some damage to you.
Yes. Saeleas is going to go ahead and use Tides of Chaos. I'm going to
Yes.
spend a couple sorcerer
All right.
points on this.
Okay.
How many?
How does that work, sorcerer?
So, starting at first level, you can manipulate the forces of chance and chaos to gain advantage on one attack roll, ability check, or saving throw. Once you do so, you must finish a long rest before you can use this feature again.
Okay.
Anytime before you regain the use of this feature, the DM can have you roll on the Wild Magic Surge table immediately after you cast Sorcerer spell of first level or higher. You then regain the use of this feature. Apparently, I don't have to use Sorcerer points for that. So that's a thing.
Yeah.
Cool.
So if you want, you can try to get out of the entanglement. That's a check.
Could do that, or I could. Yeah, let's just do that.
Roll a
Or I could do my attack
Just
on
murder them.
the vine thing.
Or
That
you
would
could
get
just
me
try
out
to
too,
attack
right?
him, yeah.
All right, I'll do yet another. Hopefully this one will hit because I have advantage. Firebolt at
Okay.
that.
Roll with
stupid-
advantage. Firebolt.
All right, that's 9 plus 7, 16.
That hits.
All right, 16. Yay!
Roll
So
some damage.
Firebolt will hit him for 10. 10
Nice.
fire damage.
Yeah, he breaks the vine blight. Whether it's a he or she, we don't know. We won't find out. But they, equal opportunity vine blights. So they loosen their grip on you. It doesn't take that one out, but you're able to at least get out. And would you like to use your movement?
Yeah, I'd like to get away from that.
Okay, where are you going?
Come on, Jabin. I'll go towards the ship.
Okay, you and Jabin make your way to the ship, and you're able to get on if you want.
Yay! Yes, please.
Okay, Saeleas and Jabin get on the ship. It is Cobble's turn. He's going to again try to hit, and he this time just whiffs, because right as he whiffs, Gulsatori is like heading in. He's doing those attacks on Jerik, so he whiffs pretty hard, and he's like, "Ugh, I gotta protect the queen," and he's trying so hard. After Cobble's is Sarsa.
So at some point, like on their turn or whatever, my stingray should be hitting anybody that's within 15 feet of me.
Okay. So roll
just
some
a
damage
flag.
for stingrays. You can attack the vine blights or the or
How long does that
Gulsatori.
spell last?
10 minutes.
Oh, wow.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
Hot diggity day.
How much damage do they take?
14 if they've failed, so it'd be 7. Or if they make the wisdom
So
save,
it's a
they would
wisdom
take
save each
7.
time.
Yeah,
So 9 for the vine
that's a
blights.
fail.
Gulsatori rolled a 3.
Big old fail. So
So
they're all going
that's-
to take 14.
14 damage. Okay, and some of the vine blights go down. But there are more pouring in from the streets.
Well, anytime they enter in my 15-foot radius,
So some of them just keep on getting zapped by these stingrays, and there are other ones that take their place. You get the sense of impending, being very crowded by blights. But yeah, they're taking damage.
and so then with that's like just an ongoing thing that's happening.
Mm-hmm.
But then I'd like to, she's going to rush up and she's basically going to like try and like spank the big bad nasty and do her inflict wounds on him, which is necrotic damage.
Okay.
So for that, that's going to be, it's an 11 to hit.
That misses.
Well, so she goes to smack him on the butt and she misses.
He goes
She says,
bang.
So, but I'm assuming like if she's trying to pass him that she would or she's
would
just
get an
trying to get
attack of
behind him
opportunity.
so he'd get an attack of opportunity.
He would.
At disadvantage.
He'll take it. So 19.
Well, he's got disadvantage. Was
That
that?
is with the disadvantage.
Oh, well then gosh,
conship.
he's gonna hit. That's gonna be a
Okay,
hit.
you take 18 points of damage.
2 things. Number 1, I should probably make a con save
Yes.
for my stingrays.
Yep. Constitution save.
So we can do that right now. That's gonna be that's a 4.
Oh, so. All
Sorry.
right. So all of the stingrays
Gone. They disappear.
and the twig blights kind of stop for a second.
That was the one thing holding them back.
And they
However-
look at you and they look at Jerik and they kind of. Twigs
However,
could smile. They can.
my fair and benevolent DM, he's within 5 feet and he just made a melee attack on me.
Oh, snap.
Which means not only can I use my Wrath of the Storm, I can use it 4 times a day to give him the reaction to hit with 2d8 lightning damage. But I'm also going to go ahead and use my Channel Divinity, my Tempest Channel Divinity.
So he rolled a 10.
So he's not going to save. So he will take 16 damage.
Okay, and that will be halved. Because
Lightning?
reasons.
Man, he resists a lot.
But he's starting
But
to look
Sarsa's
going
going
to
to look at him and be like, was that shocking for ya?
He just kind of.
Enough with the points. Get on the ship.
Jarek, I'm not leaving without you. You better get your...
Trying to get on the ship. Get on the ship.
After Sarsa does her little thing and takes some damage, a couple of vine blights shoot at her 17 to hit.
That's a hit.
22 points of piercing damage.
Really?
You got hit by 3 vine blights.
Jeez.
Sarsa looks like a hot mess right now. Like she was like, I'm fine, and then all of a sudden she's like, like she's got arrows sticking out of her arms.
Pierce. Yeah.
Brosnan.
Sorry, Jerik. I seem to have grossly underestimated the situation
Now
here.
you're still kind of running, so in your movement, you can get to the ship. I mean, back on your turn, were you continuing to run, or did you just stop right in front of Kolsatori?
She
to do
kind of
your
like
thing.
was stopping behind him. Like she's definitely like between him and the ship now,
All right.
but she wasn't planning on going anywhere without Jerik.
All right. Sounds good. Jerik, it's your turn. Sarsa looks really rough.
Yeah.
But
Vine
she's on the
blights are
move, right?
encroaching. There are more vine blights, and she kind of was.
She
and then
might even have
stopped.
an eyeball hanging out. Like it's
So I'll use my action to disengage and then head for the ship and kind of grab her along with me.
Okay.
I mean, probably if I'm not far away, probably like facing him, but backing away towards the ship. But compelled duel is still up, so he's still compelled to
Okay.
fight me.
Okay.
Is Saeleas on the ship?
Yes.
Saeleas is. Coach is on the ship as well. Coach
And
is
Jaden
on the
as
ship.
well.
You're up.
nice.
Is the ship taking off already?
It's raising up now. It's about 8 feet off of the ground.
Okay, I'm gonna use my warhammers. I'm gonna take the help action, and I'm gonna try and hold down a warhammer to try and help whoever is trying to get on the ship.
Okay. Make a acrobatics check.
I'm no longer raging because I didn't attack anything last round.
Make a kindness.
That's a
check.
natural one.
Oh. So you lower your hammer to try to give aid.
I mean, technically it's still a 7.
yeah.
But
To try to give aid to Jerik, and Jerik grabs the hammer and pulls it out of your hand and falls back down on the ground. Jerik lands prone on his butt, and Sarsa is just like, just like right there. So you're kind of reaching down, like, and you just lost your hammer. And that's.
gosh.
Is there anything else you can do?
No.
Okay. Yep. All right.
I know. I guess at this point it doesn't really matter.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean,
Where's a paladin when you need one?
okay. Coach
On prone.
Seeing him jump down, Coach is going to jump off the ship and get in between Cardamadu and Jerik.
Kolsatori. Okay. There's still a good like 10 feet from him and the ship.
Yeah, but if he
so-
takes another turn, they're both going down.
Yep. All right.
So I'm going to try and
So you're-
stand
you're-
in between them.
Okay, so you're flanking. All right. We'll say more needle blights are coming in. They start swarming, and a couple of them are going to attack Cobbles now. Miss. That is a hit. Oh, that's a auto crit, and that's a hit, and that's a hit.
Jeez.
Oh, dear.
We need these dice, Weston. We need these.
Seriously, I've rolled all of them. I have like 60 20s.
We
here.
need to steal Chris's dice.
Oh, Cobbles takes a couple of hits in crucial places, and he does not look in the neck, in the rib cage.
He gets, like, in between the-
You know,
in
he's
between the
he's a
rocks.
he's an earth genasi, and he's very thick. But like these needles are sharp and piercing, and they pierce him in places, and he winces a couple of times, being hit. And there's more and more of these needle blights coming in. Kolsatori kind of shakes his head. He's looking at Jerik, but he looks back at Cobbles and he says,
Not all of you are going to make it out of here alive.
Uh-oh.
and he
Not cobbles.
is with disadvantage, yeah?
Yeah.
He takes his flaming sword, kind of cracks his neck, kind of trying to break his
Hey,
hold on
over here.
you, and turns back to Cobbles and
Look,
goes,
no. Oh!
and slashes. Cobbles gets a cut right across his chest,
No,
reaches out towards Sarsa,
no,
Save her for me.
Cobbles, no.
and falls down.
No. Not cobbles.
Immediately, a bunch of blights and vines overtake him, and he's swarmed by 10, 20, 30 vine blights. Cole Satori just reaches out.
You're next.
You'll pay for that, you son of a bum.
Raising up. Saeleas' turn.
I'm on the ship and no one else, and none of these guys are this far.
Okay. At that point, underneath you guys, you see kind of this portal, this kind of circle of arcane energy open up. It's underneath you, and all three of you just go and like fall through. And then another one kind of is above the ship, and it just forms in this purple kind of greenish energy, and you've all three land just a couple of feet up, and you see Nazir kind of twist his hand and wrist, and he says, "Get us out of here!"
All of the Crystal Council will fall. Mark my words. The words of Cole Satori.
Your name still sounds stupid.
Just shut up.
Your original name was better.
You lot, Cobbles. Cobbles is gone.
I thought you guys...
You also noticed that Callum, the dwarf, made his way in the midst of all you guys falling down and everything. He also made his way up on the ship and leaped up. His arm looks really bad. It looks like it's kind of like taken a bunch of damage.
Sarsa's gonna slowly, it takes about 10 minutes, but she's gonna cast Prayer of Healing.
Okay.
To give some heals to herself and Jerik and Callum and up to 6 people that need it.
Yeah, and Kishara, who you've gathered has some wizard abilities, will also start healing as well. There's a couple of other light clerics that kind of have some healing potions and things like that. As the Aravan floats away, you see the town of Emberbrook from above, 20, 30, 40 feet in the air. You guys are flying away. Flames are engulfing buildings, the library, the ship that Sarsa had bought and didn't put a lot of love in, and it's now being overtaken and burning. There are buildings toppling over. All you see is this kind of moving mass of twigs and vines and earth, and Emberbrook is being overtaken.
Jeez.
Mora looks back, and she looks at you guys, and she says, "We will find out who this man is and why he has caused this evil to come upon your land. I am so sorry, my friends.
I don't need to know why. I just need to know how to kill him.
We will assemble the Crystal Council at once. Kishara, make it happen." And she nods and kind of starts doing something in her head, kind of thinking about something, and she's kind of like touching her ear a little bit. And you guys are flying away from Emberbrook, and it's just about sunset. The lights in the sky have gone down. There's a faint amber glow, not just from the sun, but from the fire.
Hey, Saeleas.
What?
I hate fog.
Okay. I don't like fire.
All right, so contest time. So we want to do something really cool for all of you for helping us spread the word about the podcast. So by entering this contest, your name will be put into a random drawing, and 5 winners will get some original D&D artwork done by myself. The art is an amazing, awesome sketch of the Season 1 characters that will be signed by all of the cast, and we'll mail it to you so you can hang it up and smile and laugh and enjoy it forever. It's a lot of fun. But one lucky winner will get that drawing and also an original D&D character drawing of their choosing. It can be your character, your personal character, one of the characters from our show. You can just say, draw me a random cool wizard, and I'll do that. Whatever you want. So lots of chances to win, and you get some sweet artwork. So here's how it works, Ethan. I'm just going to call you Ethan. It's easier if I give the collective listeners a name. It makes it feel more personal. So get on the Twitter, Ethan. I know Twitter, but it's got a great positive D&D community, so check it out. Go to Twitter, search for @RolledTable. There will be a pinned tweet on our profile about the contest. Just retweet that post. Go ahead and follow @RolledTable if you haven't done so already, and like any one of our other tweets. You can like the pinned one on top. You can like one of the how-to D&D posts, one of the sweet character artwork posts by me, just any one of those tweets. In review, follow, like, and retweet the contest, Ethan. That's it. It takes like 20 seconds, or 10 if you use 2 fingers. But Chris, you say, I'm not on Twitter. I'm on Instagram. I'm a visual person. I like looking at cosplay photos and fun videos, and there's weird boomerang things. Well, Ethan, I hear you. You can enter the contest on Instagram too. Check out @knightsoftherolledtable podcast, which I believe is one of the longest Instagram handles out there. Just go to our profile, follow us, like the post about the contest. Just click on that little heart right there and tag a friend in the comments. It lets your friend know that you listen to a cool D&D show. And here's the cool part. If you do it on Instagram and you do it on Twitter, you'll get entered into the contest twice. So you'll have twice as many chances to enter and get some cool artwork. So to review, Twitter, follow, like, and retweet, or Instagram, follow, like, tag a friend in the comments, and win some art, and help get the word out of Knights of the Roll Table. Thanks, Ethan. You're the best.